Hello, the internet Bingothon chat. How is everyone doing today? It is Syneth coming to you with an amazing randomizer, Illusion of Gaia, run by so5z. And we have a special announcement since the last incentives for Illusion of Gaia was not met. So, if you want to tell chat what we're coming in for.
Yeah, hi, this is so5z, or just C for short. And since none of the incentives have met and we will see a very basic randomizer run, I'm still up for a challenge. I'll challenge you, chat. If you manage to get an amount of $50 donations within the first 45 minutes of this run, I will match those donations and we will update this to a blackout bingo instead of a triple bingo. And also, if I don't manage to do the blackout bingo within the time, I will double these donations. So, chat, it's up to you now. And since there's nothing else to tell, how about we just go?
Sure thing. If you want to count us in, and I know
Oh,
we
I'm
have
sorry,
some donations hanging in the wing, but count us in and let us know when we can read those donations.
You can just start the timer, and I'm already in game. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay, so this is the Illusion of Gaia Randomizer. What the first thing you see is that we have a randomized starting position. I'm starting very late into the game. This is the last city you usually meet, and I'm already connecting hidden items, and I'm getting my first hint. There is a bingo goal about hints. No, there is not. So lucky me, but there is a bingo goal about hitting a snake. No, it's not. So the thing with the randomizer, I don't know how this seed will play out, so I will have to be very on the fly with how many bingo goals I get. Right now, I'm just trying to first get my game to open up. Illusion of Gaia is a very linear game, meaning that usually the game just sends you forward and there's no way back. The randomizer works around that by turning some story items into travel items. And my first portion of this randomizer will be to find these travel items and to gain open world. For that, I'm going to check items in the cities. Right now, I'm playing the snake game. I need to hit as many snakes as possible to get a fabulous prize, which is, of course, a randomized item for me. And in these cities, I usually have hidden items or NPCs in dungeons, mostly treasure chests. And right now, I only have a limited amount of 101 is not bad. I have a limited amount of possibilities where I can go. This is my friend Gem the Jeweler. Gem the Jeweler has certain gifts for me if I give him a certain amount of red jewels. Everything is randomized, of course, except the My Secrets. We will get to that later. And sadly, no travel items. So we will just use our first travel option to move back to Continent 4. This is a one-way trip, sadly, so I can't do this. I can only do this once. But hopefully we will find our way back soon. I'm also visiting these portals, these dark spaces. The reason for that is I need abilities to finish the seed, and I found my first ability, which is excellent, and it's Psycho Slider. Is there a goal for Psycho Slider? There is not. Looking at the bingo board, the pyramid is going to be the breakpoint of this seed, but we'll see. These abilities are 6 of them. There are 3 for Will, which is the character you see on screen right now, and 3 for Freedom. I need 2 Will abilities, the Slider, which I just collected, and the Spin Dash, which I have not found yet, and 1 of the Freedom abilities, which is the Dark Freya, to finish the seed. Although for certain bingo goals, I might need additional abilities. But we'll see if we get this. We see if get this blackout met, or if I can maybe work my way around these goals. Right now, I've moved on to Continent 4, which is the city of Europe. You see here the line moves pretty fast, where I have to wait to get into the Euro shop. In the vanilla game, this line would take about 6 minutes, and thankfully our developer, Don't Begoo Me, is a speedrunner at heart, and he sped up certain things. He sped up this line, he sped up certain elevators in the game, and he also sped up certain cutscenes, and we don't have item fanfares. Usually when you get an item, there would be like, oh, you found the item, and we don't have that. We just get a very quick text box. And right now we are going to do our first fetch quest. You see in my tracker that I already have an apple, and this is Anne, and she trades me an item for the apple. So this is our first fetch quest done. Is there a bingo goal for that? No. Huh. All the easy ones are not here yet, but that's okay. We want the challenge. So we are going to work our way through all this. This is a very good item that I just found, which is the will. The will is a travel item which allows me to move to continent number 3. So very good. I already found progress. We're gonna get some more hidden items. We are also going to check the dark space in this town. And yeah, this is the first part of the game. Like in any randomizer, I'm going into the cities first and not into the dungeons yet, because dungeons are usually pretty hard and I'm working with limited resources. I only have one ability. My stats aren't that great. You can see in my tracker I only have 8 HP upgrade. I have found a strength upgrade along the way, so I'm at 2 strength, but I don't have any defense, which means enemies, especially in these late dungeons, will hurt pretty much. We're going to do one dip into one dungeon. This is Angkor Wat. This is the second to last dungeon you would play in a normal playthrough. And I can't do very much here, but there's one treasure chest that's already available to me. And we're gonna see if maybe this is something I can use. So this is the treasure chest. It's a red jewel. Okay. And as you can see, 2 hits from this guy and I'm dead. I died on purpose here. I'm gonna die on purpose a lot. This game has no convenient way to get back to the start of the dungeon except for dying. So we are going to use death warping a lot in this game. So if you're wondering if I died on purpose or if I died on accident, you will hear my screams of agony when I die on accident, and if I don't mention it, then just assume it's a death warp. Killer 6 has Freya upgrade. Very good. This is there are 11 hints in the game. I don't have the bingo goal for the hints, so I'm not going to pick up every one of them, but I will pick up some along the way. These tell me about either important items or about trolley or hard to get locations, or they tell me about boss items. And important items are always travel items, or items that I need to free Princess Kara. Freeing Princess Kara is one of my go mode conditions. The other one is to find 3 mystic statues in this setting, and to find the aura, which allows me to transform into shadow, which is a bingo goal. So I'm very interested to finding the aura very soon. Freeing Princess Kara is not as easy as it is in the vanilla game. First, I need a special item, which is the magic dust, to free her. And second, I need to find her, because her location has been randomized, of course. Every dungeon that does not have a boss can have, while I'm turning in my red jewels here, any dungeon that does not have a boss at the end, we call those dungeons a minor dungeon. They can have Princess Kara at the end. And there's one item that will tell me where she is, but worst things worst, I have to check all 5 minor dungeons to find her. And we have a second will ability so early on. That's great. Sadly, it's not the most useful. This is Psycho Dash. This is the ability that I could have done without, because it does not give me anything that I couldn't have done with Slider or with Spin Dash later. So yeah, kind of wasted, but there we go. And since we're done with the Continent 3 city, let's move on to the dungeons. We're going to go into our first major dungeon. Major dungeon because it has a boss at the end. This is the Great Wall of China. We're still very much underpowered, meaning that 2 hits and I'm dying, but we're trying to weasel our way through here to get either some items or some dark space checks. We also have a bingo goal that tells us to enter all dark spaces in the Great Wall. I cannot physically reach all dark spaces yet, because I would need a freedom ability, Dark Freya, for that, but we will see how far we can go. Oh, that was not good. That was not good at all. This is fine. This is fine. We can work around that. Ooh. Okay, thank you. Need to be a bit careful about these spears, and yeah. The Great Wall is in the middle of the game. This is the dungeon where usually the 4th boss would be, but it's still manageable because I have space, I can move, and I can dodge enemies. And I also already have my slider, which helps me to kill a couple of enemies that are in my way a bit faster. I'm gonna find one more item in here and then one more treasure chest. And hopefully I will make my way to the dark space, but we might take our first death here. So let's hope that does not happen. When I'm attacking with my slider, I'm invincible for a short moment. We call this iframes or invincibility frames. And that's also the case when I'm doing my jump attack. So sometimes when you see me just jump attack for no good reason, usually I'm trying to avoid taking damage at some point. So yeah, we're using everything we can to stay alive and to get all these items. There's our last treasure chest. And it's another red jewel. Wow, only red jewels, huh? So it's not unreasonable to find that many red jewels. While we do a little sequence break here, we are skipping the ramp with a slider. Oh, that was unfortunate. I mistimed that, okay. Yeah, it's not unreasonable to find many red jewels, while I have to do the first 2 rooms again, sadly, and I have no convenient way to skip it. The item pool is about 120 items, and 50 of these items are red jewels. So it's a bit like rupees in Zelda games. You just find them everywhere, even if you don't need them at some point. I'm basically done with 40 red jewels because the jeweler only gives me a reward for 40 red jewels, and he doesn't give me anything else if I find more. So I have basically 10 dead drops. But yeah. Let's see, let's hope it doesn't come that way. Sadly, there's not much new happening now. I'm just gonna go trying to get back to that room I was before. Do we already have some updates for these donations?
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds like an opportune time to talk about money coming in for Fred Hutch. Because we've got $5 from our very own Floha. He says, shuffle, you say? So, yeah, we do have some shuffles coming up. And then we also have $15 from Zazu. They say $1 for every minute I'm going to lose while trying to get a 4-hit flurry on Kate with an Ophelia start. Also works as a great excuse for when I inevitably can't finish on time. So thank you both for those donations. That's $20 towards the $50 bonus match incentive that we have that timer going for. Looks like we're, about halfway down on that timer at this point. So get those in.
So, now we're back. Gonna kill this snake real quick, and then I'm going to god dash through these guys. Very good. This is the place I wanted to see. There is a dark space, and in the early game, oh my god, dark spaces are very, very valuable to me because I need abilities to unlock certain locations. So even though it's, oh my god, and it's Dark Freya, perfect. It was excellent. Even though it took me some time to get back here, it is very important that I don't skip these dark space checks, because this dark space, this Dark Freya ability just unlocked the rest of this dungeon for me, and it also unlocked a lot of items in later dungeons. So in the early game, it's really about finding these dark spaces as fast as possible and finding these abilities as fast as possible. And right now we can already go towards our next bingo goal, while the slalom around the snakes finally works. Thank you very much, game. Third time was the charm. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our Dark Freya ability in the very next room. Dark Freya is the only way for me to hit an enemy that's in a distance. So this archer that's chilling in the back of this room, I cannot reach normally, but I can just fireball him to death. Takes me a couple of shots, but there we go. And this cancels. This creates an orb, and the orb opens this passage, and now I can progress through the dungeon. You saw me run right through the barrier. I've used a little speedrun tactic that's called the orb cancel. When there's an orb on screen, it usually flies to a location and then triggers an explosion, and after the explosion the way is open. But I don't need to have to look at these explosions. Cool kids don't look at explosions, and neither do we. If I hop into the menu for a split second, I update the game state, but the graphic lags behind. So even though the door seems to be closed, it's already opened, and I can walk through. Okay, and now we are in the final dark space of the Great Wall, which means I can check off my first bingo tile as soon as I have this dark space appear. I just need to kill 5 archers in this room. I'm gonna use Dark Freya because it does a little bit more damage. Also because they have this animation before they become damageable. So I'm gonna use it to charge up my Dark Freya while they are invincible. Dark Freya deals a bit more damage, but it takes time to charge up. So I'm just trying to be a bit efficient and save some time. Whoops. And this is the last one. And there it is, appearing dark space, achieved. This is also called Walden Dark Space, after my good friend Walden. And it betrayed me, it didn't have an ability. So sadly, that's all I can do in this dungeon for now. There is a boss at the end of it, but I need another ability, which is my spin dash from Will, to reach the boss. So sadly, all we can do is commit suicide and, yeah, leave this dungeon and check out other locations. That was our big dungeon or major dungeon of this continent. We also have a minor dungeon, which is here in Angel Village. I also get another hidden item here in this city or village. And now we can do a little gamble. There is a chance that Kara is at the end of the minor dungeon. I could full clear it now, but if I find Kara at the end of it, I have to basically do it all again once I find my magic dust, because I don't have magic dust right now. So we're taking the 20% gamble to not find Kara down here, or to find the magic dust along the way, because there are 5 items I can get, so there's still a chance. But yeah, we're gonna take this gamble because it's 5 items I don't wanna... Come on, let me through. Thank you. I'm gonna take that gamble. And the Ancient Village dungeon is pretty easy. I can mostly circumvent everything with Slider. And I need Psycho Slider here because I need to slide through some narrow passages. And these narrow passages are the reason why Slider is required to finish the seed. Because you can find these in other dungeons as well, like in Angkor Wat we'll see them. We'll see them in the continent Mu, and we'll definitely have one here. So we are going to weasel our way through these dungeons. I'm not killing many enemies, only those that are really directly in my way. That's because it wastes time, and I don't gain anything from it. In the vanilla game, whenever you clear a room, you would get a status upgrade. Oh, and this is perfect. This is my travel item I was looking for. Let me get to stat upgrades real quick. In the vanilla game, you would get a status upgrade for every room that you clear out of enemies. But that takes time, so I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to use another vanilla mechanic that is not everybody is aware that it exists. But if you kill a boss, you will regain all the status upgrades you missed. So let's say I was in the... I've been through the Angel Village dungeon and I've been through the Great Wall, but I did not clear out all the rooms. Once I kill Sandfanger, which is the boss of the Great Wall, I will get all the status upgrades I missed. And Kara should be here, but she's not, so the gamble paid off. She's elsewhere. Where? I don't know yet, but definitely not here. So it's a 1 in 4 chance now to find her. And right now we have something that we already know from the vanilla game. These are the puzzle rooms. There are 2 rooms that have one difference, and I need to find the difference as fast as possible. Let's see if I can make it. Yes, there is a charm missing here. And these riddles have been randomized, of course. So it's always new, but you kind of get an eye for what to look out for. Like there was a stone missing here, and here's more items. It's an HP upgrade, very, very nice. And nothing in the room has changed, so the content of the chest has changed. Yes, it's a red jewel. Okay, one more room. Ooh, this seems almost empty. Oh, it's the wind. This is actually vanilla. The last room is supposed to have the wind as a as the last difference. But now that we solved all the riddles, Ishtar is gonna give us one more item. This guy's Ishtar, and he gives us a hieroglyph stone. Hieroglyph stones are used for the boss in the pyramid, the Mummy Queen, which is included in a couple of our goals. Oh, I've just forgot. I need to check off the enter all dark spaces in the Great Wall. Silly me. I'm talking so much I'm forgetting about my donation goals. Okay, and as usual, we're finished with the dungeon. We therefore have to get out faster. And now I have multiple options where to go, but I think I want to use my travel item, which I just found, which is the Lola letter. Lola's letter is one of those story items that has no use in the vanilla game except for some fluff. It's just a letter from our grandma that says, "Hey, this is your grandma, and yeah, have fun on your journey." And it's like, yeah, thanks, grandma. But in this game, it's actually the most important travel item because it unlocks the way to travel between continents 1, 2, and 3. And since we started in continent 4 and worked our way through 5 and 3, that means with this item we have open worlds. So first part of the randomizer has been checked, and we're going to continent 1. This is South Cape. This is where you would usually start the game. I have a couple more hidden items, but I also have the teacher. The teacher will tell me which mystic statues I need to finish this boss, because I don't need any 3 mystic statues, I need 3 specific mystic statues, which would have been more interesting if we had the boss shuffle activated, but since we don't have it, I know exactly where these bosses are. So he tells me 4, 3, and 6, so I need to go to the Great Wall, kill Sandfanger. I need to clear the continent Mu and kill the vampires. And I need to either do the boss rush or kill the hidden bonus boss, because statue 6 has 2 possibilities to be obtained. But nothing that's important right now. We found the teapot, which is another travel item, but this travel item is basically redundant right now because it unlocks a travel option for me, but it's a travel option that I already have, so it's not that big of a game changer. It's still nice to have, and we're going to use it to call these moon spirits. But yeah, it wasn't essential anymore. What is essential is that I do these checks. This is the Moon Tribe challenge. I need to kill all these enemies within 20 seconds. Lucky for me, I already have a strength upgrade and I have slider, so I can do this easy peasy and get another red jewel. Very nice. Now that I know item number 6, statue number 6 is required, I am very happy to find these red jewels, because that will allow me to access the bonus dungeon and go to Solid Arm, which is also a bingo goal, right? Right? Kill Solid Arm? Oh no, it's not. Okay, I was mistaken, and I did not read that hint. I have to read it again. Sky Gardener's Aura. Oh, perfect. Perfect. That's pretty good. So, yeah. The world is our oyster now, and we just have to figure out which is the best way to go right now. I have not found any herbs yet. I'm not that keen on discarding herbs, so There is this bingo goal, but I'm not really feeling it, so that's probably something I would check. I have talked to 2 queens, so this is the first queen, Queen Edwina. So we're gonna mark this as we have talked to one of them, but we still need a second one, and like any good RPG, we have to go to prison at some point. Prison is kind of a dead right now because there's a locked door, I don't have a key. But luckily there's a dark space inside here, and now there's another randomizer mechanic. Whenever I reach a dark space, I have the possibility to save and to return to my starting position. As you remember, my starting position was down, so whenever I'm stuck and I can reach a dark space, I can just basically save and quit. We're gonna turn in all these red jewels now, and what do I get? A hieroglyph and in my secrets. Okay. Since I know where the aura is, I'm not going to go to the pyramid right now. We are instead going to give this guy the large roast we found along the way. Now this one-way passage is no longer a one-way passage, but a two-way passage. So this is nice, but was not very necessary. We are going to go to the one continent we have not been before, which is continent 2. And we're going to get ready to get some of these bingo goals hopefully soon. I'm still looking for my... Ooh, that's nice. That's the black glasses. Lola's... Gold ship has Lola's melody. Ooh, that's potentially bad. Lola's melody is an item that unlocks a side location for me. And it's a side location that I would need for certain bingo goals, but... Since we're not playing Blackout, maybe I can play around that. Speaking of Blackout, what's the standing?
Well, I do have the pleasure to say we're going to be doing it with a $50 donation from Seed System. They say $50 for a good cause. So, yeah, we have met your challenge. We are good to go.
Thank you very much, Seed System, and everybody else who donated for your donation. And so we're going to do this Blackout, and again, I'm going to match these $50, and if I don't make it in the time, I'm going to double up. So, yeah. Keep your fingers locked on RNG if you want charity. Keep your fingers locked for me if you want to save my wallet, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the randomizer. I've just been to the city of Reacher, picked up 5 items, checked the dark space. Sadly, nothing much in here. So, yeah, kind of stuck where I want to go now. But there's still places I can go, so nothing's lost yet. I just have to think about certain bingo goals now. So certain bingo goals will happen naturally as I just progress through the game. Like get 40 red jewels, that will happen naturally, whether I want it or not, because I'm gonna find 40 red jewels either way. But certain items like use glasses and the ring, they might not happen because neither the glasses nor the ring are required go mode items. So I might just not find them ever. And that means now I have to keep looking for these items, which means I probably won't be able to skip many checks in this game. So, oh, there's the aura, perfect. The aura is, let me just set my inventory up real quick. The aura unlocks our second combat form. You've already seen Will and Friedan, but there's a second transformation, which is Shadow. Shadow is usually only used in the pyramids, which is the very last dungeon of the game. And that's the earliest you can unlock him, but in the randomizer we can use Shadow for all dungeons from now on, and we're going to use him for all boss fights from now on, because bosses in IOG are a bit different. They have hard-coded damage. They all have 40 HP, and no matter what stat upgrades I have, no matter what abilities I use, there's a set amount of damage the different forms will do. Will only do 1 damage to bosses, Friedan will deal 2, and Shadow will deal 3. So in order to kill bosses fast, we will use Shadow whenever we can, just to get these boss kills a bit faster. yeah, while we're talking there, I'm working my way through the Sky Garden. I'm gonna do a little ramp glitch here to skip the ramp and get over this chasm a bit faster. And right now we see the gimmick of this dungeon, which are these statues with the sword. You have to hit the statue, then hit the sword 3 times, and after that you can move the statue with your telekinesis. Spoiler alerts, if you haven't played the game, Will can move objects with his mind, and it's going to be useful in a couple of dungeons later on. So yeah, in this room the statue has locked a dark space. But in other rooms, I need to move the statue to open up passages, so we'll come back to that later. But because I have Dark Freya already, I can again kill this guy in the middle of the room. He is usually out of reach for Freedan's sword, but... Whoops. Whoop, don't hit me. But with Dark Freya, we can kill him, open this passage, and get to this last item in the back. Gonna charge up a Dark Freya again. Sometimes what you will see on my screen, there's a text box that says you are not equipped. This happens whenever I try to use an item but don't have any item equipped right now. The reason I'm triggering this text box is I'm going to... Oh, this is a dev upgrade. Very nice. Is I'm using that text box to buffer another input. Mostly it's going to be attack inputs, because usually when I press attack, Will stops running and goes through his attack animation. But if I buffer this attack, then I can basically charge up my abilities without having to stop running, and that's usually a bit faster. So I'm going to use item buffering a lot. But I can also use item buffering to move for a very set amount of pixels, which will come in handy later. It's gonna come in handy in this dungeon, and it's gonna come in handy for a boss kill. Right now I'm using another speedrun strategy, which is the ramp jump. I'm going to jump over this ramp. Usually you would have to solve a super high riddle, and this room would take 2.5 minutes, but with ramp jumps I can basically clear this room in 20 seconds. So yeah, speedrunners and speedrun strats help out a lot. Although it is possible to play this randomizer completely casual. You don't have to do any glitch, you don't have to do any tricks, you can do it 100% casual and still finish this randomizer. Okay, sadly this dark space has no abilities, so we are almost finished again. We just have one more room. And I found a defense upgrade in the other room, which is very nice, because from now on I will take 1 less damage from every enemy that I encounter. So even though my death warps take a bit longer now, especially when I'm going into the later dungeons, I am incredibly bulky right now with just 1 defense upgrade. And perfect, this is my last will ability, this is Spin Dash. So, learn Spin Dash achieved, and now I have basically unlocked all the dungeons in the game. I have all the continents unlocked, all the dungeons, now it's just finding my way through everything. So, since this is Blackout Bingo, I don't have to be specifically careful about this. We're just going to... Oops. That was not intended, but it worked out. We're just gonna work through this room. We have 1 more dark space in here, and because we have Blackout Bingo, I will need to find Dark Freya and Earthquaker, sadly, because... Whoops. Because, sadly, I have to kill Mummy Queen as Freedan. I need to have Aura Barrier for that. Because of reasons that will be clear once you see the boss fight. And I have the row 3 column 1 gets the hieroglyph number 5 as Freedan, which I need Earthquaker for. So yeah, sadly I will have to find all my abilities. But that's not a big deal. We can do it, I believe. So seat is wide open for me. There's just a couple of side locations I can't reach yet. But yeah, no problem. First we're going to use Dark Freya again. There is one of these statues that I mentioned before, just out of reach. But with Freya we can activate the sword. And then with telekinesis we can move the statue to the switch, open this passage and unlock the last 2 items in this dungeon. And there's another of these statues in the lower part of this room. And what I'm trying to do, another speedrun technique right now, I'm trying to item buffer and use my item buffer for movement this time. And there's one pixel where I can just barely get past the statue without activating it. And I'm trying to hit that pixel, so let's see if it works out. Need to jump over this ramp, and now... Perfect. And it's an empty chest. Dang it. It was not even worth it. There are 2 empty chests in the game, and they have been randomized as well, so yeah. That's our first blank, but that's okay. That's okay. We could full clear this dungeon. Where do we want to go next? Since I'm still looking for dark space checks, we're gonna leave this dungeon again, and we're going to the other dungeon on Continent 2, which is the Diamond Mine. Do I have a goal for the Diamond Mine? Yeah, free all the miners in the Diamond Mine. We're gonna do that now. The Diamond Mine is a dungeon where I have basically 2 parts. I have the lower part, which you can just run through the end and get 3 dark spaces and a couple of items. And it also has an upper part where I need keys. Oh wait, I need to free all the miners, so I also need to free this guy. Hey buddy, you're free! To talk to him, he can just sit there. Usually you talk to him and then he runs off, but that's not required of me. So I'm not gonna do it. But I'm gonna free you. Run, free, live your life. And we're gonna get the first item. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the first half, and once I have keys, I'll come back and the rest of the miners. Unless I'm lucky and find some of the keys in here. And there are multiple keys in this game. As you can see, there's a bingo goal that says find all 5 keys. But 3 of these keys are here for the diamond mine, so yeah. We will be coming back here. But it's not that bad, because the second part is basically right at the very start. So I can really do a big chunk of this dungeon right now. We're going to free another miner that's locked inside the wall. Yes, this game is dark. This miner is with the master, and that's why he got the wall. Typical twin-head game darkness, and we have another dark space here. We're still looking for the 2 freedom abilities. Sadly, that's not one of them. But no worries. We still have plenty of places to go. And we are going to run to this enemy, please. We are going to do a little sequence break right now. You're not supposed to have spin dash in this point of the game. You're supposed to break down a barrier and then use this ramp to get enough momentum to get up the other ramp. But since we have spin dash, I can just use spin dash and just charge up this ramp with my spin dash. Spin for the win. So that's what we're going to do. Saves a little bit of time. That's the last miner I can save for now. But there are still 2 more dark spaces in the back of this room. So we are going to work our way through there. Again, I'm ignoring most of the enemies. I'm killing those enemies that will give me an orb. Or that are just in the way, like this beholder was. You are not important. You are not important. You are. And with that, I can destroy this fake wall and get 2 more dark spaces. And hopefully find vulnerability. Yes, there's one of them. Is it Earthquake or is it Aura Barrier? Earthquaker, perfect. Earthquaker is only used in 2 locations in the game. You can usually use Dark Freya to avoid having to use Earthquaker, so to speedrun the any percent speedrun that ability. We are not any percent speedrunners, we are randomizers, so we will pick that up. And since I'm finished here, I'm going to save and quit again, and I'm back in DAO. My inventory is getting pretty full right now. As you can see, I only have I only have 16 slots in my inventory, and certain items I have to keep in my inventory until I can either lay them down. I can use red jewels out of my inventory. I can use the travel items out of my inventory. But these hieroglyphs, for example, can't just get rid of. I need to place them within the pyramid. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to go up here. And I don't know the correct order of the hieroglyphs yet. That's why in the tracker you only see 6 birds. I will need another item that tells me the order, but I can place them down here and have them out of my inventory and free up some space. So yeah, that looks better. And now we're in the pyramid. The pyramid is the densest dungeon in the game. There are 12 items inside here, and even Gaia has an item for me. It's a red jewel, which is fine. And now we are going to transform into Shadow for the first time. Where was it? Where was it? Transform into Shadow. There we go. So this is a third combat form. He deals more damage, especially the boss, but he also can use the aura to liquefy and then like sink through these floors. And in the pyramid, that's necessary to even get to the biggest part of the dungeon. So we are going to sink through the floor and reach these rooms. And we are also going to use it to get a hidden item here. The pyramid is divided into 6 rooms. So the final item of the 5th room is freedom, and for that I'm going to need the earthquake I just picked up, so we're just gonna give it a shot, see if we can make it, but it might not be possible because I'm pretty weak stat-wise, and yeah, so we're just gonna give it one try, and if it doesn't work, we'll come back later and do that later. I'm just finding red jewels here, which is the worst. It's also gonna be helpful. So we are going to go down here. There's another dark space, but this dark space is a dark space that will never have an ability for me, because this dungeon requires you to be able to transform back and forth. So this dark space always has transformations. Dark space both. And after the dark space with an ability, that means I can never transform in there. I can the ability sometimes transform my ability, but for further transformations, space is just locked. So we're going back to room 5, and the first part of the room is already tricky. I need to iframe dash through a couple of enemies here, which means I'm going to attack them and I'm going to run through them basically. And now I'm going to use the Earthquaker. This will make stone tiles fall down, and these stone tiles will... I did not kill him. So I'm gonna stun these enemies. It also stuns the enemies, so I can get past these guys. Worked here. No, oh god. I'm gonna die. And Ooh, like I said, I'm very weak, and yeah. This is pretty hard to get through, so we're gonna give it one try. There are invisible enemies here, so I have to activate them first, and then I can... Oh, damn it. I forgot to block. Okay, so, yeah. This was just the first half of them. That was the second half. We're not gonna even bother. This is not going to work right now. We're going to come back here. But we're not finished with the pyramid yet. We are just going to do the will rooms instead, because will has spin dash, and spin dash is beautiful. Spin dash gives me a little burst of speed. Spin dash gives me iframes as long as he's spin animation. I am invincible. And spin dash also deals a lot of damage to enemies. So if I have to kill an enemy, it makes you spin. So yeah, it's for the win. And this makes these will rooms very, very easy. So I'm going to play this safe. I'm going to use spin dash here to get through these laser orbs. And now comes the mini gauntlet. I'm not going to kill anything, but I have to sneak my way past most things. So I'm going to slalom through these guys, walk past them, and now I need to hit the door. And this doesn't look difficult, but it's more challenging than you think. Running in this game is not free. I don't have a dedicated run button. I have to double tap on my D-pad each time. So every change of direction and every time I have to start running, I need to double tap. And that means I'm not as mobile as it might seem. I cannot just like press down Y and then I run all the time. I need to I need a little time to get going. So yeah. These rooms where I have to change directions a lot are very challenging. But we made it fine. We got another red jewel, which is okay. And that was the hardest room. There's one room we are not going to bother with, which is the Killer 6 room. But we had a hint about the Killer 6. Sadly, I forgot about it, but I know where it was, so we can read it again. Yeah. In this room, we just pick up the first test. Gonna kill this guy, gonna spin through these two guys, and then spin over this ramp. Get this item, and luckily there's an invincible enemy here. Used to die. Perfect. And yeah, I'm gonna be stuck in this room for a little while because I have to kill some enemies. So if we have any donations or anything you guys want to talk about, now would be a good time.
Sure do. Doyd came in with $15. It says donating for Alphen in the Octopath run, $1 for each encounter on the way to the Scholar Shrine. And that is a good reminder to talk about what's coming up. We do have Octopath Traveler coming up next. You could do a bid war for the English or Japanese voices. English is currently in the lead at $100. There's also the top 4 characters that you can donate for. There's Alphen, Cyrus, Hanat, Obrick, Ophelia, Primrose, Theron, and Tressa. So yeah, if you want to see one of those characters get put in, there are 4 characters that have money on them, so you can definitely try to catch up and get a character you want, or get another character to get even further into the lead. But yeah, definitely hit up those donations.
So did I. Yeah, get these donations in, guys. And I just saw that I have another goal already achieved, which is use the teapot. We already did that. You can see it in the tracker. The teapot, which is the 3rd row, 2nd item, has already a little symbol next to it. Whenever this item the item has a symbol next to it, then that means I already used it. For its purpose. And I also found the magic dust, which is excellent because the magic dust is the item that I need to free Princess Kara. And yeah, from now on, minor dungeons are no longer worrisome to me because I know if I can make it to the end and Kara is there, I can just free her, which is perfect. Okay, so. And we found a Statue of Hope, which is not as nice. But that clears out the pyramid for me right now. I have a couple of places where I could go now. I think I want to go to Angkor Wat next, so we're getting all the hard locations out of the way. We have to come here, we have to kill the boss in here, we have to do the room free then, and there's still the Killer 6 item, which again forgot to take the hint, but oh well, doesn't matter. So we are going to go to Angkor Wat, and we are going to full clear this dungeon. All the related dungeon, I have everything that I need. And this dungeon is super hard when you because it's so long and so full of very powerful enemies, but this dungeon is basically on rails. If you know how you move move, you always know how the enemies will react, and you can manipulate almost anything to your advantage, and it's always the same. So you basically have no RNG in this game, except for one room, which is the garden. In the garden we have flies, and these are not just any flies, these are Cambodian jungle flies, which are super fast. They move completely random and they hurt as hell. So it can just happen that a fly zips into the screen, double hits you, and then zooms off. You have no chance of killing it, you have no chance of hitting it, and if it hits you, and if you die, yeah, better luck next time, buddy. You're gonna start this room all over again. So yeah, I know when I run Seed, usually people spam their favorite fly emote in chat because I love these enemies so much that I even have an emote for them. So yeah, if anybody wants to see me suffer, spam your favorite fly emote. Or if you want to help me, spam any emotes with frogs, because frogs are the natural enemy of Cambodian jungle flies. It's up to you, chat. Okay, I did find another mushroom drop, which is pretty nice, because that unlocks more checks in Mount Craft. I'm going to... because, this is gonna give me a shortcut to this first half again, while we enter the garden, and this is a zombie, this is not a fly, I can deal with zombies, but flies, man, there it is, one. Ooh. There's two more. Need spin dash to get past them. There's another one. Leave me be, flies. Leave me be. Okay. Do we have the goal for all dark spaces in Angkor Wat? We don't. We have not. So we can take Freedom right now. And now we're going to the last location where I need my Dark Freya. My Earthquaker. And don't worry about these bingo goals. We're gonna get this. Once we have a couple of items, these bingo goals are lower. This is just the randomizer. It's you need to basically find a couple of items to open the knot, and once it does, then we are on our way. So this is that's why I went into Angkor Wat, because it's a very nice dungeon, because it has a lot of items for me, and I'm going to use my Earthquaker to stun the enemies again, which allows me to get past this guy. He would otherwise block my path, which is not nice. And him hitting me is also not nice, so we're going to be a bit careful. And now we're going to use another in-game mechanic. This dungeon is so big that we have save points in between the dungeons. So I just activated one of these save points. When I die, I don't get thrown back to the start of the dungeon. I'm going to go back to the save point. So I'm going to activate the save point, then backtrack to get one last. I'm going to die, because when I die, I transform back into Will. And Will is far more useful for these next rooms. So I basically save time by not having to find a dark space to transform back. I just death warp, and then, yeah. I'm Will, and now I can use Spin Dash for the burst of speed, and I can use Slider in the next couple of rooms to clear this dungeon. Oops. And that hit was unnecessary, but it's fine. This dungeon also has the light room. We don't have dark rooms in IOG, we have bright rooms. The next room has crystals that shine very brightly, and usually you would need the sunglasses to block out the light so you can see. But yeah, I know this room, and I know how to move to reach the item and the exit, so we should be fine. We should be fine. So there we go. Oh no, I already found what am I talking about? I already found the glasses super early, so yeah. This would be the bright room, but we have the sunglasses, obviously. Silly me. How could I forget? That's our prison key. That's one of our keys we need to find. That's also the key we would need in the prison cell we've already seen. So we might go back there sooner than expected. But first we're gonna finish this dungeon, and I'm not too bothered by getting hit here. Like I said, this dungeon basically has no RNG, so I'm pretty certain I can deal with it. Only RNG that I have is these falling rocks, and I've just gone past them, so no worries with that. I'm going to be a bit safe and kill this guy with spin dash, so he's not in the way later. And then there's one more chest, which is the forgotten chest. Spin dash through these enemies. Get the chest, which is another herb, which is fine. Spin dash back through these enemies to not get hit. And now it's just the final room. We are going to kill this guy with slider. And we're going to charge up a spin dash and a narrow passage with many enemies. But spin for the win. And there we go. And now we get one last item in, and maybe there's Kara here. So let's see if we're lucky. Yes, she is. Perfect. Hurry boy, she's waiting there for you. Indeed. If my friend Walden would be here, we would sing now, because it's a little throwback to a wonderful song called Africa. But I'm gonna spare your ears and sing. Also, we got so focus. Gonna run out. Go to the nearest dark space and use the save and quit. We are going to be back at down, and I'm going to check the kill 6 hint again for safety reasons. No, this was more substitute. Where was my hint about the killer 6? Huh. I don't remember, but I do remember that Chula's Mansion is available to us at 40 red jewels, and that's what we get. So we just got our 40 red jewels goal achieved, and now we're in this dungeon. Just super weak, super underpowered. 2 hits and we're dead, but we have the slider, and we can kill all these guys before they kill us. And the reason why I'm killing more enemies in this dungeon is A, they are very dangerous and I don't want to get killed. But also B, because of the spirit overlay, this dungeon has very much lag. And by killing off sprites, by killing off enemies that create more sprites, like these guys, they create lasers, they create balls. Just reduce lag. Because less sprites, less lag. And we're also going to our first boss kill, which is the bonus boss, which is Solid Arm, which is another bingo goal for us. I'm just gonna quick. That's fine. Oops. And this bonus boss has usually the hardest boss in the game, but we found a little trick to make this boss a lot easier, and we're going to use item buffer to get into a pixel where we cannot be hit. So let's see if I can make it. Right now, the boss will shoot at me, it cannot hit me, back them and just 5 points. 40 HP, so I need to hit him 40 times, but no problem, I'm completely safe. And this trick was found by Mr. Freed, and he's a god at this game, which is why this pixel is aptly named the God Pixel. And it turned one of the difficult fights in the game to one of the easiest. So yeah, defeat Solid Arm. And we're going to get our first Mystic Statue. We're in the Tower of Babel, and this skeleton here will give us our first Mystic Statue, which is Mystic Statue number 6. So yeah. Only 2 more to go, although we have to do a couple of additional boss kills for this. So I'm still not worried. I'm still not worried. So, this was the boss kill, and now we're going to go back to Dao. Still looking for 1 freedom ability, so we are going to a dungeon we have not been before, which is the which is Mount Cress. Mount Cress is the universally hated dungeon of every speedrunner, of every casual runner, because it's a maze. You have flying enemies, you have enemies that shoot at you, you have enemies that spit acid at you, you have enemies that summon fireballs, and you only have these narrow vines to move on. So yeah, it's pretty hard to maneuver in this dungeon, but we have Spin Dash, we should be fine. And I'm still gonna check these dark spaces because I'm still looking for that aura barrier. So I can, defeat Mummy Queen as Freedom. And as you can see, we're still very under-leveled. I talked about getting status upgrades when we kill bosses. Solid Arm, sadly, is the exception. I will not get any status upgrades by killing Solid Arm. The reason for that is because this boss is so much quicker than doing the boss rush or Devs decided. You only get the status upgrades for Statue 6 if you defeat the boss rush. And since it takes a lot of time, we're not going to do that. So we're still fine. We're still fine. It's another red jewel. All these red jewels that I find right now are basically useless. I don't need them anymore. I can't unlock anything with them anymore. So yeah, sadness, but oh well. Rando does rando things. While we were talking, I found a couple more keys. I found a mine key. Oh, that was unfortunate. That was completely my bad. No problem. We will be back there in a minute. So I've already found one of the mine keys that I'm gonna need. We already have the prison key. So just 3 more keys to get. The Moo Palace key is also another bingo goal that we have. So we definitely want to find that soon. And we're back. No problem at all. And we're still looking for items that will unlock more dungeons for me. The diamond block would be a really nice item to find right now. Sadly, I only find red jewels along with some Inca statues. We can't be. The time is getting close, so we can't be too picky right now, though. So we just have to. Oh, there's my aura barrier. Perfect. We just have to take what the game gives to me. So this green number next to my hieroglyph counter, but I don't know the correct order yet. So before I can defeat Mummy Queen as Freedom, I will have to find the but it's not a problem. Still have tons of stuff I can do. But these next rooms are a bit difficult to do as Freedom, so I'm gonna that here on purpose and get Will back, because Will is just so much more. It's so easier to survive as Will, even though I have to do this first 2 rooms again. Spin Dash just. And when I pick up a Freedom ability, I cannot use that dark space to transform back into Will. So we're going to move up again. Luckily, I already got the items, so... I did? Yes, I did. So we are just going to use Spin Dash one more time here to kill the spider. We're going to use our first mushroom drop to make this vine reappear. And that unlocks more another side location. This dungeon is basically one main room and a lot of side locations, so it's not the main room that's the problem, it's these side locations. Like this room is full of these fairies that summon fireballs and that follow you all throughout the room, and they can fly. So they can just gang up on you, especially if there's 5 of them in the room, like in here. Oh, not a red jewel. This is so unfortunate. So we have to use spin back to get through these guys. And you can see when 5 of these berries are on screen and they're all summoning the fireballs, the game lags. The game lags super hard. And yeah, it lags so hard that in the next room, the game can be just like a soft lock. Because so many sprites and the game can't handle it anymore and it just freezes up on you. That's actually... that can actually be used as to an advantage. In the wrong warp, which is the only major glitch this game really has, you trigger this sprite overload on purpose. I'm gonna kill these spiders just to be safe. And with the sprite overload, you can, yeah, as it says, trigger a wrong warp, and you can basically warp to any location in the game. So in the any percent category, you warp directly into the credits. Or in the Beat Star Gaia category, you would warp to the final boss. Or there's also a category called Beat All Bosses that just warps on. It was empty. How rude. That just warps 4 times throughout the run. And just warps from boss to boss. Which is pretty amazing to see. And yeah, if you can I would recommend. Yeah, and I've tried to avoid it a bit, but I think there's no other way. We have to go into Mu. I said that Crest is the universally hated dungeon. Not for me. I hate Mu. This is the that has the vampires as a boss fight, but it's the best place for me to go right now, so we're going right in. We have to drain the water to unlock the lower sections of the dungeon. So I have to first make my way through to the first, put down my Statue of Hope, and drain the water. Oops, almost forgot. I have to kill this guy. And after that, the water will be drained, and I will have another room of hope for another statue. Yeah, this dungeon is, I think, the most difficult because of these flashers. They just appear. Oops. Just appear out of nowhere and shoot at you. This projectile is a homing projectile, so it will follow you. And they can just appear inside of your hitbox. So if you're running and the flasher just appears right directly in front of you, you just take a hit and there's nothing you can do. You're gonna tank that hit if you want it or not. And let's face it, usually you don't want to tank hits, so this is really, really annoying. And these... now that I'm setting down a hope statue, I unlock more layers of the dungeons, but I also unlock more enemies. So I will unlock more flashers, and there will be rooms with 5 or 6 flashers in them. And it's just terrible. As you saw here, it just appeared right in front of me. Luckily, I was already turning around, but yeah. When that happens, you just... it's so annoying when it happens. Okay, but it's time to get some more items. Mu Palace key, perfect. This is the 3rd key. And... Rama statue, okay. Oh, this seat is so mean. This is giving me a vanilla hope statue. I was hoping it would not. Okay, we're gonna death warp real quick, because there's one more item I can reach, but it's faster to go there from the start. So that's what we're gonna do, because with Slider, I can use shortcuts. I can, once I get past these guys, I can use this narrow passage to get through this room. And I can now go to the last item, which is a bit out of the way, but it's not a problem. The good thing is we can now kill the boss in this dungeon, which are the vampires, which is not only required for the seed, but I think it's also a bingo goal. Whoops. Ah, you little. Sit down. Thank you. Just could we find, but this is the difficult. So yeah, this is a pretty long way to get there, and we would have time for another donation right now or two.
Excellent. Well, we actually have a request from Tech, if we could. We're having some audio issues from your side, and we're wondering if you wouldn't mind leaving and rejoining the Discord call to try and resolve those. And then in the meantime, I've got a donation and a special announcement. So we've got a $30 donation coming in from Pink Batman 12 from Back in Time. This is one that was donated a couple hours ago and somehow didn't make it into the tracker until now. Yeah, if you've been watching, you'll get this one because they say, "I can't believe this monstrosity of a character I'm seeing on my screen right now. Good luck to Hab on his Dark Souls 3 run," which was a couple hours ago, and donation goes to Pink Tunic in Twilight Princess, which was also a couple hours ago, because of course it's the best color. So thank you so very much, Pink Batman, for that. Sorry we didn't get to it earlier. As we've said in chat a few times, we've had some PayPal issues today. And then, we have our own host bingo board, and there are some things on there that we want to try and knock off the list. So, where does Santa and his reindeers stop for coffee in between their journeys? Well, of course, they go to Starbucks. And yeah, maybe one more. We've got another joke here. What is Santa Claus' nationality? Well, of course, he's North Polish. Oh, yeah, no, that one was bad.
That was
Anyway,
bad. That was pretty
go
bad.
ahead and send it on back to you.
Is this sound better now?
No, it's about the same. So I think we're
I'm
just gonna have some tech issues. No big deal though.
I'm sorry.
It happens.
I reached on the call, but I don't know. So yeah, I put down the second hope statue, which was hidden in its location. This is even randomized. And now I have the last couple of items I can get here, and we will also be fighting a boss. And these are herbs. I'm gonna find herbs and herbs and herbs. Need but I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna save that for the Mummy Queen Freedom fight because that fight is difficult, and want safeties for that. So I'm rather going to do this later in the run. We can get one more item, but the good thing is we will fight the vampire Shadow, which is super convenient because not only does Shadow do more damage, Shadow can use his aura to get invincibility for a couple of this happening. I can trigger what is called a aura glitch. In an aura glitch, I attack and cancel my attack animation with the aura animation. During the aura animation, I'm invincible, but because my attack was cancelled, the game still thinks I'm attacking. So basically, I'm a landmine, and if I manipulate myself, if you manipulate the location of the vampires where they stop, so they stop on top of me, I basically deal constant damage to them while being invincible, which is super convenient to kill them very fast. And as a reminder, these bosses have 40 HP, but Shadow deals 3 damage per hit, so it's only 40. Wow. The flasher rudeness increases. So it's only 14 hits for one of the vampires to die. Sadly, I have 2 of these vampires, so yeah. Let's see if we can make it. So the vampires are casual killers and killers because usually you fight them as will. But with Shadow, if you ever got frustrated with these, play randomizer. We're gonna take one herb here just to be safe. Play randomizer because as you can see, the first one is already dead. The second one is already melting. And there they go. And now my HP increased because these bosses give me stat upgrades. So yeah, casual 119, pretty good. And Mystic Statues defeat the vampires. And perfect. And that's also one of the hardest locations in the game done. We can still do a couple of things. We can use the Moo Palace key to open this door, which we just used. Now this door is open, so that's another bingo tile. Use the Moo Palace key, there we go. It's another crystal ball, which is fine. I don't need it for the seed, but it's better than red jewels. Let's call it that, because look at how many useless red jewels I have found already. Rando is not being nice to me. HP upgrade is nice, but not that necessarily anymore. But we can do a couple of more stuff in here. We can use the purification. Do we have a goal for use the purification stone? I thought we had. No, we have use all. We have use open both coffins. Okay, we can't open the coffins yet. We need our friend Lily for that. But we can talk to Buffy. So we are going to use the purification stone, which we found earlier. We're going to toss it into this well in the ground, because of course we do. And as it turns out, all these monsters we saw along the way are actually humans that have been transformed. And yeah, we don't want to think about where this puts Will's death count or kill counter in the game, because we kill a lot of these monsters. But it also transforms one of the enemies into an enemy that has an item for us. And because in the vanilla game he talks about slaying the vampires, we nicknamed him Buffy. So yeah, say hi to Buffy, everybody. And the elevator key, which is very nice indeed. Talk to Buffy. Achieve. So, sadly, we are already finished in this dungeon. Yet. But we can use the diamond block we just found and get another bingo goal done. Which I need to talk to you. Which is unlock all the letters in Inca. Because we can clear all of Inca at this point. Except for the boss, but we'll think about the boss later. And I'm really short on items, sadly, which is kind of a shame. But we'll make the best of it. So we are going to put down the diamond block we just found in here. That opens a little cutscene, which we are going to skip. While that cutscene is running, we are going to get another item. And then we are going to work our way through the Inca ruins to get a couple of items. Lance's letter, yeah, we don't need that anymore. This was the item that would tell us where Princess Kara is hidden, but obviously, so yeah. A little too late for that. And because we have some HP and so much defense, these enemies basically don't deal any damage to me. But I can still do a little glitch to skip a bit of the dungeon, especially the boring middle part. Oh, Inca statue is nice. But for that, I need to transform. So we are going to make our way to a dark space where I can transform. We're going to grab some items along the way. This Inca statue was one of them. There is also a way to glitch through the floor using a ladder as well, which is called the C ladder, because I was the one who found it, so it got named after me. And we're not going to do this right now. We're going to use a randomizer only glitch, which is called the shadow ladder. C ladder actually so it took about a minute of this dungeon. So if you see people speedrun this game right now, which used to play this a long time ago, it's mostly because they all want this glitch to be included in UBs, because it just saves so much time. Come on, be nice. Oh, come on. What? I disagree. I disagree so much, game. Okay, what I was trying to do is manipulate this guy to walk on the golden tile, but sadly he did not operate. The jewel counted as an object? Okay, I did not know that. I have to remember that. This has never happened before, TM. Okay, now we're in a dark space. We're going to take Shadow, and the problem with Shadows and Ladders is Shadow is usually only available very late into the game, where there are no ladders anymore. So yeah, that turns into a little bit of a problem, because Shadow does not have a ladder animation. So when he climbs a ladder, weird things happen. And how weird, we're going to see after this little song. This is another item we have to get. Ability. Wow, is this even randomized? That was the win spot, the win ability, if you didn't guess it. So, but that means we can finish this dungeon now. Hooray! Okay, but first, Shadow and Ladders. We're just gonna climb up this ladder and then climb it down, and Shadow keeps climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and okay. So what we just did, we skipped basically rooms in the middle of this dungeon, 5 rooms, and yeah, saved about 30 seconds. So we just have to go back here, get this one item that is at the end of the very last room, to backtrack, and yeah, now we can go straight to the boss. We have one more item along the way. We're going to unlock the last ladder, which is this one, so bingo goal achieved. And then we are going to go to the last room with an item, and then we need to transform into Will, because we need to play our first melody, which is the wind melody. There's a room with 72 gold tiles, and one of them is the... Oh, my inventory is full, really? I disagree, but... I don't even need that crystal ball. So, with 72 gold tiles, and I need to stand on one of them for 10 seconds. I could just walk from tile to tile, but that's slow. So we're gonna use Will. Will has a flute. He'll play the wind melody, and then the correct tile will vote. Will glow, and then we'll just stand on that, and yeah. We will
Z. Just wondering if you have a moment.
yeah, sure. Always.
So Nordic and I are about to head off of our hosting shift here to be taken over by Ariel and Gannon. I just wanted to quickly say goodbye to chat. Thank you so much for the donations so far. And one last joke for our hosts here, all of you. Have you ever all heard of Phasmophobia?
Sure have.
Did you
Oh,
know that
absolutely.
they're coming out with a new Christmas update?
Ooh, what's it gonna
Yeah,
be called? Tell me about it.
they're calling it Finding the Holiday Spirit.
Mmm.
Wow.
All right, with that
Boo.
chat. Hey, it was better than the one that I read. But yeah, I will be off. You all have fun and good game.
Likewise, yeah, I'm gonna be hopping out of here, but I'm gonna be back in 3 hours because I've got another hosting shift later tonight. So yeah, y'all have fun. Thank you for the donations, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
Sineth. Thank you, Sineth. Thank you, Nordic Soy. Great job hosting. However, it is time, Ganon. It is time for us to take over. Yes.
I am very used to it being time to take over.
Well, we're gonna hand it right back over to our lovely bingo runner, and but we'll be back to talk to you about very important things related to Bingothon.
And we'll always be here, lurking, if you need us.
Wow.
I'm scared. Okay, this was Kastov. Is the first boss. As you can see with Shadow, it's completely trivial. He didn't even get to do his big once because we do so much damage to him that he just basically melts away. And I need that item on the gold ship. That's why I came here to kill it. I had a hint about it. This is another one of our melodies. We need all 3 of them. And I'm really running low on time. And I'm going to get the Lola melody. And I'm also going to talk to our second queen. We already talked to a queen at the castle. And now we have a queen on the gold ship, which is her. And yeah, I'm not going to pick up the mystic statue. I don't need it. We can get another one later. So talk to 2 queens is achieved. And we're getting super close to our first bingo. Whoops. Why did I jump down here? Because I'm an idiot. That's why. We have 2 boss kills under our belt now. So we can now turn these into... Or do I want to? Yeah, we're going back to the pyramid. We're going to get all these pyramid goals out of the way right now. So we are going to use a dark space. Go back to Dao. Oh, I can't because I don't have the Father's Journal right now. Oh, that's a shame. What can I do? Oh, that's a shame. I didn't read my tracker correctly, so... That's on me. Jump to this, but there's so much to do now. I don't have to go there, so... We're going to go to Continent 1. And we are going to play our second melody, which is the Lola melody, which is usually an item you would get at the very start of the game. And you would carry that item with you to the very end. It stays in your inventory forever, basically. In the randomizer, it has been changed. You only play it once to make the magic village appear. So that's what we're going to do. There are 2 more items in this magic village, and maybe they will get me an idea where I have to go next. Also, our friend Lily lives in this magic village, and it would be super convenient if we could just grab her along our way, but we need a necklace to bribe her to come with us. So maybe we're lucky and we find a necklace in here. Because, frankly, there are not too many more locations where the necklace could be. It's the Father's Journal. Okay, that's fine as well. That means now we can go back to the pyramid and do all the pyramid stuff. But we have one more. We have one more item to get, which is... behind this big wall, and it's the necklace. Perfect. Oh, that was excellent. Are we in go mode with that? No, we still need a memory melody for... We still need a memory melody for that. So we still have to keep checking. But we can do... Oh, and the mine key. Yeah. But now we have Lily in our pocket, and now Lily is going to help us in the locations. Help us escape the prison for first things first. That's what we're gonna do. We have the prison key, we have Lily. Nothing can stop us now, so we are going to go back to prison real quick. And yeah, I think it's safe to say we're gonna fail this. I'm gonna fail my estimate. I'm very sorry, guys. Rando was not kind to me. Sent me all over the place, so we're going to definitely, I want to show you the Mummy Queen as freedom fight, because I think that's the most interesting we can get. But sadly, I think it's fair to assume that we will not make it happen in 15 more minutes. So yeah, chat beat me. That's fine. I accept defeat. It's all for a good cause. But yeah, this is the first dungeon you would usually go to. It's not very difficult, and the enemies are mostly passive. They're just chilling out, so nothing really happening too much. I'm just trying to get here as quick as possible. There's only a couple of enemies I have to kill because they trigger an orb for me. I have some hazards, like these spears that are falling from the sky. Oh, sadly, I did not make the early spear. Maybe I can get the second spear. Yes, I do. One more item that is trapped behind this switch. That's the herb. Okay. Technically for go mode I would need 2 more items, but there's still a couple of locations I have to get, and there's still 3 bosses I have to kill for all the bingo goals, so yeah. That's a bit... it's just running out of time right at this point. Okay, after this switch, she counted down 3, and then we pressed switches on both sides of the room. That's what happened. And now we need to transform, because there's a switch that is just out of reach for Will, but Shadow or Freedom can reach it. We're going to use Shadow. Shadow is usually not available in this dungeon yet, but Shadow will transform faster at the end of the dungeon, so I'm going to use him. Come on, transform, thank you. Oops. Like always, we're gonna op cancel. Cool guys don't look at explosion, and if you're like a liquid fire guy, you don't look at explosions, definitely. Way too cool for that. That's another herb, damn it. Getting all these herbs now that I don't need them anymore, that I have to discard them soon. Okay, and that was Escape to Prison achieved. And it's the Gorgon Flower. Okay, at least one useful item. So we're going to go straight to the pyramid. We are going to get these pyramid goals out of the way. But for that, we need to go to DAO, and we can go to DAO by using Chula's Mansion as a shortcut. We are just going to talk to the Chula, hop in real quick, leave right away, and we're back in DAO. Could have also used the dark space, but this is a bit faster. And now it's time for the pyramid. And we're gonna hop straight into the boss fight. For those who don't know it, Mummy Queen is my... I have so much speed with this boss. It's me so many times. So killing her as Shadow is already a challenge, but killing her as Frieden is its own. Is its own challenge. So it's really difficult, and that's why we're gonna heal. And we're gonna try to be as safe as possible. I'm gonna spam eat herbs if I have to, but I definitely want to see this. I want you guys to see this, and we are also check out more bingo. Little journal to the pyramid. We are going to set down the stones in the correct order, for which I have to. You go into 1. You go into 2. You go into 3, and you go into 6. And that's all the stones placed in an order. And now this is the Mummy Queen fight. Mummy Queen has basically split up. He's just after you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trigger Aura Barrier, because during the Aura Barrier animation I am invincible. So I'm going to try to avoid these spirits by using Aura Barrier. And then I'm going to hit her immediately when she reforms, so she doesn't do any of her other attacks. And yeah, that's the first half of the fight. Sadly, because I'm Frieden, I have to hit her 20 times instead of 14 as Shadow. So this is going to take a while longer. And you have to time this pretty precisely. Luckily I have... Ooh, this is another hit. That was too early. Luckily I have some set upgrades, but if I get it more often, I will to make this happen. Yeah. We're just gonna use an herb here. This was a second. This was shooting a fireball at me. This is the least bad of her attacks. You can also summon her, which is yeah, pretty annoying. Which it's about to do right now. We hit her enough. Okay, in phase 2, now one side, you can either turn into a... I have to hit the right spirit like this. Or she can do split again. In which... Don't cry, you need our area. In which I have to dodge these spirits again. And of course, I want these spells, so I can read it. Yeah. Cycle. Wow, it's the third cycle. No. There we go. Then and first bingo, and it's so yeah, I'm very lucky I did this first. That worked out. Okay, but we're still in the pyramid. We still can get 1 more goal, no, 2 more goals, and we got our 3 mystic statues. So like bingo goals going, and if I had like 10 minutes more, maybe we could. It's gonna focus on what we can do right now. So we are going to transform back to Frieden, and we're going to see if we... to try and make this happen. herbs. Again, we have to... Oh no, we already did that, so I can just... We're not gonna kill the enemies in this room because it's 6. That's way too many for me to kill. I'm just trying to iframe dash, but it's not happening right now. My timing is off, so let's hope it works here. Oh, did not work. And we are going to go this way, and now we need to pass every enemy anyway. So we are going to kill all these little guys. I'm going to kill these guys. The spirits don't count as enemies, it's just the mummies. The spirits will hurt though, so we're gonna block them so they don't hit us. These bird soldiers are the worst because look at how much HP they have. One more enemy up here. Ah, this is taking too long. We're gonna take a different route, I think. Yeah, I don't care about the spirits. I just need to get to these last couple of enemies real fast. So this is one of them. And we are going to take one more herb. This is perfect. I have 5 left now, so I can also do the discard 5 herbs now. And there should only be 2 more enemies. One is this guy here. And we're gonna freeze the enemies, and now we can just kill off these guys. And that is 0 enemies left. Get the hieroglyphs, and we are going to discard our herbs now. So that's 3 bingo golds. Where was it? This, and this. So almost triple bingo. And we're done with the pyramid. So let's see how many more bingo golds we can get. We are going to... we're so unlucky with these items, by the way. We have so many 7 red jewels that we don't need, and if a couple of those would have been like progress item or key or something, we would have been way ahead of estimate. But Rando does Rando things. It's the name of the beast. We're going to use the Gorgon flower to turn these statues back into ladies, and the middle lady is going to give us another red jewel. Wow, we haven't had enough of those yet. What am I doing? I don't have the... we have time for... So this is our triple bingo, right? Whoops. My bad. No, this is not a triple bingo. So we're gonna get the triple bingo done at least. We can open the Seaside Palace. Open both coffins in the Seaside Palace. That's something we can still do. We should still have 2 or 3 minutes, right? Hello?
We've been summoned. Yeah, you have 2 or 3 minutes. We'll take you up to your estimate and then we'll transition over.
Yes. So we can get the triple bingo done at least. We're gonna open the coffins in Seaside Palace. Maybe this will give us 1 additional bingo goal, but like I said, we have been a bit unfortunate with our item distribution. So we're just gonna done as many as possible, but I will stick to my promise, of course, and match these donations. Right, we have been here before. But we didn't have Lily yet. Lily is a special friend because she can turn into a dandelion seed, and she can fly into the coffin and open it up, which gives us an item, which is mine key A. Yay! Let's get all 5 keys. and that's open both coffins in Seaside Palace. So yeah, we could free all the miners in Diamond Mine. Probably these will give us the last 2 items that we need. Yeah, I'm gonna be very close, but I think this might be a good point to just admit my defeat. And thank you everybody for watching. I hope you had some fun. I know I did, even though I did not match my goal, but this was a challenging seed and super fun to play. Shoutouts to the Illusion of Gaia Randomizer community. I have them all, Megumi or developer, who really put a lot of time and effort into this. Name is great randomizer. If you want to play seeds, you can do that on iogr.app. That's iogr.app. You will also find a link to our community Discord there. We have a super nice community, and we have all kinds of visual guides, videos, tutorials, all the good stuff. So you can get into it right away. And if you're interested in seeing more Illusion of Gaia, we will have our annual Illusion of Gaia Randomizer tournament in January. But more details on that will be announced later. So yeah, thank you all for having me. Thanks for all the donations. And I
Thank you
think
so much, SOZ.
Yeah.
Actually, you got 6 bingos, just so you know.
I know. It's like I said. If once you have that one bingo that opens the nuts,
yeah.
it's like it just opens everything up. I can if I have 5 more minutes, I can.
I'm so sorry. We're already a little bit over.
Yeah, we're overestimate. I know. So yeah, I'm so close, but we freed it in minus at least.
Yeah.
My conscience is clear.
I mean, seed bad, as usual.
Rando does rando things. Yeah. Okay, thanks everybody for having me, and hope the rest of the event is as fun as it was before.
Oh, I'm sure it will be, especially now that me and Ganon are in charge. Wahaha.
Exactly. Well, hello, Bingothon.
It is
Hope
your
you're all
hosts.
enjoying the music. For the brief break, we are setting up for the Octopath Traveler block coming up next, but it is a 4-way race with a 5th person on commentary, so it's taken, an understandable amount of time to set up. But in the meantime, how are you?
Hi. I don't think we got a chance to formally introduce ourselves again. Hello everybody. My name is Ariel, also known as Ariel Fabulous. I am a Breath of the Wild bingo enthusiast, but I also love to help out during the Bingothon marathon and do a little bit of hosting. Gannon, what's your favorite bingo?
This is my dirty admission. As the villain, I have to say I don't play a ton of bingos.
Shame.
So my recent obsession has been Ocarina of Time Rando, but more in kind of like the traditional racing format. Although I've done a handful of bingos, and it's a good Ocarina of Time's a good game. Ocarina of Time Rando is a good game, and so
but Ocarina of Time bingo is yeah. Well, you don't have to be a bingo player to enjoy the Bingothon Marathon. As we all know, it is just as fun to watch, if not more fun, one could even say, to play. But Gannon, why are we here today? What's the marathon for?
Well, I'm very glad you asked. As still someone who feels like the new person to the crew, let me explain to you. Bingothon Winter 2022 is here, playing bingo games all weekend long, raising money for the Fred Hutch Cancer Centre, which is a research center where world-renowned scientists and humanitarians work together to prevent, diagnose, and treat cancer, HIV, and other infectious diseases. With 3 novel laureates. Is that novel or Nobel? Nobel laureates among their researchers. They are at the front of the battle against those illnesses. So all of your donations are going towards the Fred Hutch Cancer Centre to fund research into cancer and these other diseases to increase our ability to treat these diseases and help people recover from them and survive them. So really, really good work. I mentioned this in my previous hosting break, but I did go ahead and look them up on Charity Navigator, and they scored a perfect 100%, which means they used their donations really responsibly, putting the vast majority of it towards their project, their actual research, and they're very transparent about their leadership and their finances, so it's all good stuff. And I believe that people are responding to that and sending some donations. Ariel, can you read some donations for us?
Yeah, sure. One sec, I have to refresh the little page. Did you already process? Oh wait, sorry. Nope. Wait, I'm an idiot. Oh my goodness, so5z, our runner who just finished their bingo, has donated $100. As promised, here are $50 for matching the donations being made, and another $50 because I didn't make the estimate. Thank you to everybody who donated. Let's hit that $2,000 mark today. Bingo hype. So again, SOZ, I would, that is a very, very nice donation, I think. Although it's a little naughty because he did have to send it in because he did not make his goal. But I would say it's mostly
Very
nice.
naughty for missing the goal. Very nice to donate to Fred Hutch.
Oh, absolutely. But I would still say it's a touch naughty because he's doing it because he did not do a thing.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Tisk.
And then it looks like Doid also, one of our upcoming runners, donated $15, donating for Alphen in the Octopath run, $1 for each encounter on the way to the Scholar Shrine. I think, again, with the scholars participating in the Fred Hutch research, I think this is a pretty nice donation. But I don't like Alphen, so that's naughty.
Oh, I'm also a little naughty in that too.
Well, thank you so much for your donation. And I believe our next game runners are ready. And so I think we can transition over.
Yeah, let's transition over.
I say that as though I have the power to transition over.
Yeah, we have a wonderful person. We have Trix running our tech for us, and we have to... Once Trick is ready and once everybody is ready, we were given the go-ahead, but...
Hello.
Hello, Zazu.
Why am I here?
You're here because we are working on getting everyone ready for the Octopath Traveler run.
Excellent.